You see how I found the most green part of my home to do this video? Got my green couch, my green curtains, my plants, I put on green. There's a whole green thing about to go on here. Hello, hello, I am Hannah, this is Sweet Fern Homestead, and today we're talking about paint colors specifically for a kitchen. And that's because one of you, one dear sweet friend and patron and viewer of this channel, asked me a little bit about choosing paint for kitchens. I was so flattered to be asked, and that is just like a pure joy for me. And so the first thing that I did is I sent 3 inspiration pictures to her to look at and just said, which one of these, because they were all a little bit different, but I had a feeling they were kind of in her style. I said, which one of these really lights you up? Which is the first one you gravitate towards? And it turns out she and her husband actually chose very different pictures. And what I love about that is that sometimes we think we know what our partners would want, and then they surprise us. So the other day I was mentioning to Dave that I was thinking of taking all the blue out of my wardrobe. And he was like, why? Why would you do that? I love blue. And I was like, okay, but I don't know if I love it on me. And he just was like shocked. He couldn't believe it. And so then I tested out blue, and I even found this blue hat thrifting. I don't know if I'm keeping it or selling it, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna give blue another chance. So let's take a look at my kitchen inspiration photo. Now there were a bunch of them, but here is the main one that we have worked with. So whether this picture is exactly navy blue or black cabinets, I decided to go with a black. I really wanted a black cabinet. Some of my other inspiration pictures were definitely black color cabinets. There are a lot of blacks that have a blue or a brown or a purple, and so we definitely found one that had more of a blue inside of it, so it kind of encompasses that. Is it navy in certain lights? Is it black? But it is definitely black. And then we have not done our counters or the tile yet. So the counters are still black, but they will be a white, and there will be probably a white tile. And then you can see there are elements that I just worked with. The open shelving, the wooden open shelving, white walls, the vintage rugs. I got a couple of vintage rugs off of eBay. Beautiful pottery, just a very neutral kind of landscape in the kitchen. So we're slowly working our way towards having this finished. The thing with these projects is we think we have to do a renovation all at once. You do not have to do a renovation all at once. You can tiptoe into it. When you have saved up some money for paint, paint. When you've saved up some money for new hardware, change your hardware. A new sink, change your sink. New counters, change your counters. So we're just tiptoeing our way in. So we did do the painting, and then when it came to the hardware for the cabinets, I must have ordered a sample of every pull and handle on the planet. And it surprised me so much. Dave chose the pulls, and they were much bigger than I would have thought we would have used, and he just loved them. And I was like, you know what? I love that he loves these. I'm gonna make this work. And then I found handles that were the same brass, and I was able to do the pulls on the doors and the handles on the drawers. And you could certainly change that, but that look really worked for us. So we did that, and that is a dramatic transformation, just changing paint and hardware. So that's my kitchen. So the kitchens the inspiration photos that I sent were, the first was a very pale green. The second was a more like stormy kind of gray, maybe olivey color. And then the third one I sent was a very vibrant green, because I just wanted to see like I wanted to take the temperature. Are we talking like really pale colors? Are we talking dark and moody? Or are we talking something really vibrant? And it turns out her husband loved the third one, and her preference was the second one, the kind of dark gray stormy, which I actually figured would be the favorite. And then when you have somebody else in the house that's kind of excited about possibly doing a more vibrant pop of color, that can kind of get you thinking in a whole different direction. So I wanted to show you some of my favorite paint colors. I am kind of obsessed with this olive green. I am obsessed with like mustardy colors. As you can see, it's basically what I'm wearing right now. I'm not doing any mustard for this video, and I'm also very obsessed with different variations of off-white paints. So let me show you a little bit of some colors that I love. So these are all Benjamin Moore. I love Benjamin Moore. I love the Affinity collection. They are my absolute favorite colors. This is Pashmina from the Infinity collection, which I will talk about. And then, they have all sorts of collections. They have an off-white collection, and you can just grab these booklets or those color swatches. I love their booklets, quite honestly. I don't have the off-white one anymore. I got rid of it when I was decluttering, and they don't have it anymore, and I'm really bummed about that, but is what it is. Now, I just want to say these colors are going to look different on camera than they actually are. But I just wanted you to see, like, these colors light me up, with the exception of a few. I love these colors. This is from the Affinity Countless Combinations One Color Collection. And it's true, you can mix and match these like crazy. And then I also love the Historical Collection. They did a really good job putting this one together. If we were going along with the 3 kitchens, what I might choose or what I might do. So that first kitchen with that kind of pale green, there is a color that I have been loving from Benjamin Moore, and it's Herb Bouquet. Herb Bouquet 460. So it is this one right here. Now on this card, I will tell you, Vintage Vogue is another color that I have been loving so much. And again, you're gonna have to get these at the store. You can't quite go by what you're seeing on camera, because it does change the color just enough that it's not quite right. But loving Herb Bouquet and loving Vintage Vogue. Herb Bouquet feels very much like that first kitchen to me. I have been a devoted fan of Cloud White for years. Then I discovered Stoneware, and it is a much creamier off-white, and I went crazy with Stoneware. I have Stoneware in our downstairs bathroom, in what is now the dining room. Where else? It's upstairs in my studio, and I absolutely love, oh, and in Chloe's room. I love Stoneware. And then I have also discovered Dove Wing. You are not going to be able to see these whites, so you're just going to have to kind of trust me. And Dove Wing has a little bit more gray, I would say, in it. And then Calm, I have not used Calm. I used Dove Wing up in the laundry room, but Calm, it almost seems like a little bit of a lavender in that. And I love Calm. So what I do, and then Pashmina is a neutral that I've been working with for trim. I like white walls, off-white walls, and a darker trim, but a neutral trim, not too dark, but Okay, so Pashmina is one of those colors. So one of the things that I would do is I would hold up things that I love. So I would look at Pashmina next to Vintage Vogue and say, oh, I really like that combination. But here, you need something white. If I were doing my cabinets in Herb Bouquet, I would go ahead and compare it. Do I like Dove Wing with Herbal Bouquet, or do I like Calm? I like Dove Wing, and I don't have a sample of Stoneware, but I would test that one too. The other green that's found in this book is Croquet, which is from the Affinity collection. It's 455. Croquet, I think, would be a gorgeous choice for that light green kitchen. And then again, I would just have to play between those whites that I really love, the Calm, the Dove Wing. Wish is a little bit lighter than Pashmina, and that is a color I'm really into. Wish, and wondering where I might use that in my house. That's a really gorgeous color too. Okay, the second kitchen, it's hard to tell from the photo whether it's two-toned with a black and a gray, or whether it's a gray with just funny lighting or a black with funny lighting. Either way, I'm kind of considering it like a smoky gray with some really beautiful brass hardware. And then it's also got like some stone detail, and it looks like the tiling is a little bit gray as well. So I'm just gonna play with that idea. Now, I'm sure this is not the colors at all that they've used, but this is about using a photo for inspiration. You're not trying to copy it exactly. You're getting inspired by it. So there were a couple colors that I really loved. Gloucester Sage HC100. You can see that down here. I really like that Gloucester Sage, and I really like it with Wish. So this is the Gloucester Sage on top of the Wish right there. So these two that I'm putting together here at the end of the book. I love how those look together. Now here is a new to me color that I am somewhat obsessed with, and I think I'm probably going to get it and paint something. It is called Sparrow. It's from the Infinity Collection 720. I am obsessed. It's like a gray olivey color. It's so beautiful. And with Dove Wing, again, you're not gonna really see these whites, but with Dove Wing, it is so beautiful. And I already have Dove Wing, so I'm thinking Sparrow as my trim. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm definitely gonna work that combination. The last one here is, this is Buren Brown HC70. So I know this is not in the gray color, but as a dark color for a kitchen, I think that that is stunning. And I think that one would look really good with Stoneware. So there is a color called Kendall Charcoal HC166, and that's right here. And that's absolutely gorgeous. And that would kind of fulfill this like gray, black, what is it kind of color. Now, if you wanted to do two-tone cabinets, so we did, well, I was originally going to do two-tone. I was going to do the dark color on the bottom and the light color on top. I decided to go ahead and leave my upper cabinets as wood and get floating shelves that were wood. So I didn't end up doing any painting up there. But if I were to do that, what I would probably do is just take it a variation of one color into the next. So for example, Wish and Kendall Charcoal look really beautiful together. I wouldn't try to go like in any crazy direction. I would stay really subtle like that. And then on the walls do something like Calm, which is just another like lighter version of really beautiful off-white. I love the brass hardware with these colors. I think it would look absolutely gorgeous. And that nice, you can see that nice oversized chunky handle in the inspiration photo, absolutely gorgeous. This would look really good with bricks, with stone, with wood. So I think this look is kind of a timeless look. I don't think you can go wrong with a black or a gray. Now we come to the third kitchen, which is that bright green kitchen. Now, I did not do a good job sourcing colors that hit that color at all. I thought I did at the store. I should have pulled the picture out. I was going by memory, and that did not work but well. There are two greens in this historical collection that are gorgeous. and that is Lafayette Green and Cushing Green. And again, these are not going to read like at all what they look like on camera. The Lafayette Green is absolutely gorgeous. They're both gorgeous. They're beautiful greens. They're not that bright, like presence of a green that you can see in the inspiration photo, but they do kind of take you along that green journey as you're looking for colors to source. I had pulled this one. This is Garden Cucumber. It's not really that. I had pulled this card twice. Whenever I pull a card twice, I always make note of it, like, oh, I must really like that color. This is the Affinity Collection Dragonfly AF510. It's really pretty. I could totally see doing this in a kitchen. It has a little bit more of a blue to it than that brighter pop of green. It's just gorgeous. Now in that green kitchen, what you can see is there's like tile or maybe wallpaper. It has this like kind of grayish, brownish wave cloud-like pattern. I can't really tell what it is, but I love the colors together. When you look at Thunder and Dragonfly together, that is absolutely gorgeous. So I could even see doing kitchen cabinets in this green or some green like it, and then painting the wall instead of white using a color like this, something like Thunder or Wish, something that has a little more depth to it. So that is choosing paint colors 101, how my brain does it, how I think about things. I always start with an inspiration photo. There is always an inspiration photo that begins this dance for me. And it doesn't have to just do with paint colors. It has to do with the mood, the feel, the textures, the stones, the bricks, the tiles, the wood. Like, I want to see combinations. I want to see how everything is working together, so I know what I want, so I can take that inspiration and fuel my own style choices. For instance, in my kitchen inspiration picture, on one of the floating shelves, they have a bunch of different shapes of old cutting boards. And instead of doing that, what I ended up doing is hanging mine on a wall that is right next to the kitchen. So we have the kitchen, the door to the sun porch, and then a wall with that borders windows. And I hung my cutting boards like that because I loved the idea of mixing these woods in with these different dramatic color choices, with the dark black and the brass and then the vintage rugs and all the pottery. I just loved having more wood elements introduced to kind of pull in the fact that we left the shelves their natural wood. So think of it as a layering process. You get your inspiration photo, you go choose different paint colors. I mean, I am swimming in paint colors at all times, but they're always in the same kind of basic vibe. So I might have every single white and off-white color sample that Benjamin Moore has to offer. Right now I have all of their kind of olivey greens. And as I said, I'm super obsessed with that color Sparrow. And when you're trying to decide, like, you know, your hardware, you can see right now I have gold on and I have silver, and I'm wearing kind of a color very much like Sparrow. So you can like go ahead and do something like this. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer the gold? Do you prefer brass? Do you prefer the silver? And that will really help you. Like, you can just pick a piece of jewelry if you don't have your hardware yet. Find something in your home that already has that metal. Hold your paint color up to it, and then you can decide where to go from there. So it's just these small layers that you're building, choosing. Try not to see it as an entire huge project. It is step by step, and choosing the paint color to me is the most important piece. So take your time, get tons of samples. Don't just stop. Don't go to the paint store and take 3 samples. Take more than you think. If you find a color you like, take 5 from either side of that, going lighter, going darker. Grab them all, bring them home, and look at them in your lighting, in that space, because it will change the way that color looks. I hope this was helpful. I'd love to talk more about paint colors, about your choices. Any questions, please leave them below. Tell me what you've been thinking about. Do you have favorite paint colors that you've stumbled upon recently, like my Sparrow obsession and my Wish obsession? Thank you as always for watching. If you're new here, I'd love to have you subscribe. Hitting the like button helps the channel so much, as does leaving a comment. As always, thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. I appreciate you.